they're brands that see that dream and they start a clothing brand,
Yeah.
and Drop One comes around and the engagement isn't there.
Mm.
And
I think
they've
I
got
think that's happening more and more now, obviously,
yeah,
with there's kind of been an increased popularity of starting brands, and it's
yep.
becoming almost a bit saturated. But you see these kind of brands maybe do one or two releases and then never hear from them again.
That's right. I swear, just as quickly as these brands are popping up, they're also falling. And
Yeah,
it kind of makes
100%.
it makes me sad because I look at something some brand is doing and I see the potential, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. It's got something good going for it. But there isn't that short-term success that they look up, they
Yeah,
scroll
for
on their
sure.
Instagram page.
Well,
There's
that's
not
the
that
difficult
short-term
thing,
success.
hey? When you
Mm,
there's just kind of you sometimes need that instant gratification, like that's what you're kind of going for. Whether that's a
yeah.
quantifiable number in terms of follower count, view count, or even just selling out of your garments. And obviously, when you put hard work into a project, probably being your fashion brand in this example, it's going to be disappointing if it doesn't go how you kind of expected it to go or how you were kind of hoping and
Mm,
planning it would go. So that kind of those dark moments and those dark stages, which are very easy to happen at the beginning, especially if you don't know kind of the best practices to give yourself the best chance
yes.
to potentially put in your like garments or just your overall
Mm.
brand in a good light, and then you kind of fall off and you're upset, and then with all those difficulties you just see people fall off quickly.
Yeah. And even beyond the startups, this overarch like this ever looming risk of,
Yeah,
well,
for
am I gonna
sure.
have to call it quits today is so real for so many
I think
because
I think that's real no matter where you're kind of at in
yeah,
your business journey, or you're just like, yeah, it's just crazy. You
absolutely.
hear some podcasts of like very successful people, and they're like, is this going to end tomorrow? Or we're at like a stalemate with like growth of the business. Should we just stop
Yeah.
right now? In terms of people that are almost looking for that short term success, in terms of your
Mm,
mindset of starting a fashion brand, it should never be that. And honestly,
yeah, I couldn't agree more.
you should almost prepare yourself for however long it is, say for the first year or two. Maybe you won't sell out your products once, or you might only get
Yeah.
a certain amount of sales, and that can be super disappointing. But in terms of if you want your clothing brand to be a successful business, you should
Mm,
never be thinking solely on the short term. It should be 2, 3, 4 years ahead. What are you going to achieve, and how do you get to that point? So it'll be a bit longer term thinking with like your planning and also kind of your goal setting as well.
yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think simply having that mindset really changes the game and how you relate to everything that you do.
Mm,
Like everything, it's really uh it's evident when a brand has a short-term mindset that's motivating every decision that they make, because you see it on
definitely.
their social media, you see it in their product.
Product for
Maybe
sure, chasing
maybe
trends.
yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
haven't spent as long to market. They've just wanted to quickly get the samples and quickly release the drop, and that's when issues happen. That's when I mean, I'm sure as you've seen, Casper, that's when I've seen hold up with manufacturers, brands that are trying to get to market quickly, and then their manufacturer doesn't pull through,
Yeah.
and they have this release date and they can't release any garments, and these customers that have pre-ordered or ordered, even worse,
Yeah.
just they don't they don't fulfill on the promise and they never come back. And so and your brand's your reputation, it's your biggest asset, and you destroy that before even drop one. So
Yeah, you're not
that's
gonna have a loyal customer after that for
that's
sure.
right. That's right.